Welcome to the Conscious Creative Podcast, your weekly dose of soul-to-soul conversation that will have you saying peace out to your 9 to 5 to explore in your sacred calling. The topics center around conscious business and interviews with the folks who started them. We'll be exploring the art of being human and what it takes to live your life fully expressed and financially free. I'm Christina Gomes, and I went from high-paying job as a psychotherapist to leaving it all behind for my desire to travel the world playing my original music, to becoming the CEO and soulpreneur founder of freeyourcreativity.org, where I help visionary leaders create the businesses of their wildest dreams. If you have a sacred calling, stick around. My prayer is that you become the permission slip for the collective as you hear the soul-inspiring stories that call you forth into creative action. Let's get to the soul.
I'm Christina Gomes. I help you become a high-value guide to raise your standards on your life, on your offerings, on the way that you do business. So put yourself out there in an elevated way and in a way that attracts your kinds of clients, attracts soul-aligned clients. So you don't have to change yourself. You don't have to become like me. You don't have to become like the people you admire on the interwebs. If we work together, I would help you to cultivate more of who you are, your authentic expression, and attract the people who are most resonant with that, who are most aligned to keep their commitments, who are most aligned to show up and do the work and to receive from you specifically. So this is a really cool transmission today. I haven't talked about money specifically in a really long time. And I wanted to bring money back into the conversation. And I'm not talking only about the steps to creating six figures or having a six-figure mindset. I'm actually going to share with you my personal journey of being a risk taker. And you may have heard before, entrepreneurship is all about taking calculated risks. And some of us are more equipped in our nervous system and in our bodies to take bigger risks. And some of us just want the dang thing a little bit more, where the risk of going all in on ourselves is actually less of a risk than the risk of sitting on the sidelines for another month, another day even. And that's where I was when I gathered up the last of my savings, which was not a lot. I was raised with a single mother in a working class neighborhood, and we were like the poorest ones, even in the working class neighborhood. I didn't get any schooling or teachings around financial health or financial freedom. No one in my immediate family went to college. Besides me, I was the first, and no one had their own business. So where I grew up, you slaved away, you worked really hard. Most of my friends were roofers. I became a waitress. I put myself through college. And so I have always been the type of person to figure it out, to go like, okay, things cost money. No one in my family costs money. So how can I make the money? How can I finance my future? When I went to grad school, I took out student loans, and maybe you have student loans. And I know people that don't have student loans. And I was talking to one of my former clients around how she is just really proud that she's debt free, that she paid off her payment plans to me, and she was debt free. And I was thinking, who is actually debt free these days? And what six-figure owner and millionaire didn't get put a little debt put a little bet. I actually want to say that. Put a little bet on themselves that they were going to get a return on investment. So today I'm also going to talk to you about how to guarantee, I want to get closer in case you can't hear me on the Save the Orphans. Yes, no problem. Send me the link. I love saving orphans. Okay, so on Instagram, I can't really see your comments, and go ahead and try to comment on Facebook. Sometimes I can't see your comments as well. But we're also going to talk today about how to guarantee a return on investment so that you are in overflow, so that when somebody gives you the link to help out a certain cause that you're in love with that you can give freely. Right now, I'm invested in giving a monthly stipend, a monthly donation to my friend's beautiful organization that helps orphan kids in Guatemala to go to school and to receive an education. And so monthly I give to that. And you might be a person that loves to donate, or you might be where I was starting out, where it's like, I am not in overflow. I'm still maybe in a job that is taking all my energy. And so by the time I get home, even if you're making money in the corporate world, or you have a 9 to 5, or your coaching business is doing something, you might not feel in overflow. You might not have the time resource, the energy resource, and the financial resources to really give. And that's a problem. That's a problem that many people don't talk about, is your true abundance in all aspects of your life. And we're going to talk today about how to guarantee a return on your investment. But we're also going to start with the 3 F's for financing your future. So I want to talk a little bit more about my thought process and concept around debt. Now, since I am who I am, and since there was no way for me to finance anything without going into debt, so school, when I went traveling the world, people always ask me, how did I do this? And what it really was all about was I was primed to take bigger risks. I calmed my nervous system, I breathed through it, and I trusted the freaking universe. I was telling my friend the other day a wild story of how I actually was in definitely a different financial place 10 years ago when I started traveling. So I just turned 40. And on my 30th birthday, I spent it in Vietnam, and I had never left the States. I lived in Hawaii, which was pretty cool and pretty foreign, but that bitch has been Americanized, unfortunately. Not to call Hawaii a bitch, but it's quite a bitch to, really see how different place when you see how different places live life, and they think about money, and they think about community, and they think about their wellness and abundance, you get to noticing that not all cultures think alike. And that's really cool. And then you get to bring on different thoughts and upload different thoughts into your own being, into your operating system, and how you want to operate in the world. And so I was under the impression, as a good old American girl who was smart, that I needed to go to college, get a master's degree, and I financed that through student loans, and that's one thing, and that's fine. And then all of a sudden, I was a psychotherapist, and I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to give up my master's degree and go traveling the world like a bonkers weirdo. And everyone's like, but you have such a great job, but you're making, I think I was making around 50,000 a year before taxes. So whatever that was, after taxes is what it was. Helpers do not get paid a lot, while the corporate world was out there creating billions of dollars, creating millions of dollars. There was no ceiling on what the entrepreneurs that I was looking at could earn. And I was in a pretty good job helping foster youth. There was, nothing wrong with my job, but it was starting to take a toll on my energetic abundance and my energetic overflow. And I was depressed, and I was wanting something more. And I felt like there was a lack of connection to spirit. There was a lack of connection to spirit in my life. And so I quit my job as a psychotherapist, with so many people advising me not to, so many people talking about Roth IRAs and putting your money here, and financial budgeting, and they tell women to budget. And even back in those days, I was like, this is not what I want my life to be about. I want my life to say, when I'm on my deathbed, that I fully lived it, that I took risks, and I lived an extraordinary life that other people would say was crazy. And so I quit my job as a psychotherapist, earning about $50,000 a year, and I started traveling with very little savings. I'm talking like very, very little savings. This was a big, big risk. And I blew through that savings very quickly. And I remember being in Turkey with like $300 to my name and feeling so, so good about myself because I had proved to myself that this world was a safe place to be. This world was a safe place to live. I was safe to take risks. And although it felt scary, and although I got the jitters, and although I was very excited every new country that I went to a new country with my smarts intact, with my bravery, with my personality, and I would get a job or I would get a work away or I would volunteer. And I always had a home and I always had people take care of me. And, there were a few incidences that happened that were quite scary, but it never stopped me. It never stopped me. I remember being in a workaway and volunteering in a hostel in Morocco, and this person was blasting heavy metal in the middle of the night. And I had other women, other hostel people coming up to me as I was the volunteer, being like, "What's going on?" And I went down there and I was like, "Listen, like, we can't sleep. How am I supposed to do my job? How is anybody really, is this, you don't promote it as a heavy metal hostel? Like, what's up?" And this guy came at me, but I'm scrappy, all right? You don't just wish you were scrappy and then get scrappy. You get scrappy and you become scrappy. And I did not just take his bullshit. I said no. I kicked over a lamp and I walked out into the Moroccan streets in the middle of the night with a group of girls and we found safety. And I'm saying, like, if you're anything like me, you have that edge, you have that leadership. You take risks. You know what it's like to trust deeply in the universe. So, when you're thinking about financing your future, when you're thinking about who you want to become, when you're thinking about wanting to earn more money than you have in the past, when you're thinking about wanting to really attract the kinds of clients that are soul aligned to work with you, that feel like a joy to work with, that have you writing you love notes after every call, this type of relationship doesn't come from you whipping together a self-paced course. That's not a big enough risk, right? But you might be thinking, well, how do I actually do this? How do I actually believe in myself like Christina believes in herself and like Christina teaches her clients to believe in themselves? How do I really quit my corporate job and take that big of a risk? How do I really do this with the savings that I have? How do I really go out there and not just let that dwindle away? How do I make moves that are going to be from the future, from a future place to create the future that I really want to create for myself and for the people around me? Okay. So that first F is actually forgiveness. So we're talking about the future, but we're going to go into the past for a moment. Now, if you're anything like me, you have made some decisions already. You're not new to life. I'm 40 years old. You don't have to be 40 years old, but like, you don't have to be older to work with me. Like, you can be exactly who you are. But if you look back on your financial choices, more than likely you have felt like you've made a mistake. More than likely you have invested in something that didn't turn out. More than likely you went down a road, or if you're anything like me, you let someone borrow money that didn't pay you back or hasn't yet. And that just shows what a big heart and good-hearted person you are, okay? And I want you to right now forgive yourself. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you know now, for not yet have heard this transmission, for not yet feeling on the edge of your power and trusting the universe, for all those times that you didn't trust the universe, for all those times that maybe you did sit on the sidelines for a year longer than you wanted. I remember when I wanted to start my business, I wasn't willing to invest in myself. And so I sat crying on the forest floor. I was investing in myself. I was investing tears on the forest floor of why I couldn't get it together and create the business and the life that I wanted to create. Why couldn't I work for myself when I saw so many other people working for themselves and creating magnificent amount of money, and not just things coming in here and there, but actually being an overflow. Okay. And so you might relate to that. And you might think, okay, well, I already made a bad decision with my money, or maybe I did the whole crypto thing and that didn't pan out. But whatever it is, you get to forgive yourself. Not only do you get to forgive yourself, you must. In order to let the next three F's sink in, you must forgive yourself. And this is a process. If you want someone to talk to about it, this is often what we're doing in my coaching container. Yes, I help you craft a high value offer. Yes, I help you become the go to guide for your soul aligned clients. Yes, I help you to create the kind of content that has you showing up like a badass, owning your worth and your power and your offers. Yes, I do all that. But what is the process? Oftentimes, in the middle of a call, we are forgiving ourselves for our past mishaps. And this is just a part of life. So forgive yourself for any investments that you made that didn't turn out the way that you wanted to. And I want you to know that most of us with 7-figure and 6-figure businesses, we did not just do this alone. It's almost like a rite of passage to meet with someone who has gone before, that has the kind of energy and lifestyle that you feel like you'd like to live, and learn from that person. Right. And I want you to do your due diligence. Like, I have an entire client results page. I don't want you to just hire me off of feeling alone, which a lot of coaches will tell you, oh, if you're feeling me, then just hire me. And I've hired coaches that way as well, but not really. Like, I had a feeling and then I checked out what some of their other clients have been able to do. And so please check out my clients results page, freeyourcreativity.org. You'll find all sorts of information and podcast episodes that can give you a feel for the vibe that I have. But you're also feeling it now, yes. And I know that you're smart as a whip, and you want to make sure that if you've made a bad investment in the past, I want you to forgive yourself, yes, but I also want you to do your due diligence. How does this person work? You are welcome to get on a visionary leadership call with me and ask me questions. Ask those questions. I'm never going to deny you the full truth. I'm an open book. I'm going to give you my processes. I'm going to let you know if we're a right fit together. Sometimes, and especially this round of my launch, I'm actually saying no to a lot of people, because I don't want the headache down the road. If they're not committed, if they don't have courage, if they're not really into it, then I know what can come of that. I got to have conversations with people who are wobbling in their commitment. But my clients who are committed, they get to wobble in their pricing. They get to wobble in making choices day to day. They get to wobble in their confidence and in their belief, because I am there believing in them. They get to borrow my belief in them as we go forward, but they just get to be committed to the process. And so I've actually been saying no to some people who, are just not quite ready for the level of work that I'm ready to offer. And that's I get to forgive myself for taking on clients that weren't committed in the past, because it's made me who I am. It's going to make this next round of the Conscious Creative Business Immersion so inspiring for you. No matter if you're feeling a little on edge or feeling a little scared, if you're ready to take that leap, if you know that you're committed to the process and you can be coached, you're coachable, girl, then we can forgive and we can make that choice again to invest in ourselves. Oftentimes we think, okay, but I already made the investment. But if it wasn't the soul aligned investment, if it wasn't the high touch mentorship that you deserve, that you want to give to your clients, then there's just a misalignment. And there's nothing that you did wrong. It's just what most of us have done. And I want you to know that it's very normal. I invested probably $10,000 in trying to start my business in the wrong kind of help. And then when I invested $20,000 in my high level mentorship with my first mentor, and then again $80,000 in another mentor, and this is over a year first and then 2 years second, it's like that was the level of support that I needed to rise me to where my soul was asking me to rise, because my soul didn't want to be a course creator anymore. My soul wanted to really show up for myself and for others the way I knew that I was ready too, but I wasn't going to just do that on my own. I needed to receive that as well. I needed to allow myself to receive that as well. So I forgive myself for the $10,000 I wasted because it's not a waste. We learn. I learned who I really wanted to be as a business owner. I learned who I really wanted to be as a transformational guide. I didn't want to be a passive income creator. I didn't want to teach you how to create funnels and courses, even though I did start out that way. And I have lessons in my programs that teaches you how to make funnels fun. You get all those lessons. You get self-paced courses. You get the worksheets and the modules that so many people crave so that they're not waiting for the weekly coaching. You get actually all of that. And like my goal and my highest service is to those clients that invest in themselves, that commit in themselves, commit to the journey, and commit over the long haul. That's why my program, I will give little 6 weeks programs, but the clients that come into the 6 week programs, they get a little boost, and that's gorgeous. I love giving people a little boost as well. My clients that go through the self-paced programs, they get what they came for, right? But if you are ready to be deeply guided because you're ready to step into your depth, then that's just a different energy. So forgive yourself for thinking that the self-paced $300 course was going to change your life. Forgive yourself and let's keep going. And so I get to forgive myself for, all the things that other people also would say were wrong. So I want to touch on that for a second as well, and breaking down these levels of forgiveness. And you might have something that you want to forgive yourself, but also you can forgive yourself for letting people speak into your life that weren't your coach. If there's somebody who you haven't invested in telling you to, like one time someone said, I don't need a coach. And I let that sentence ring around in my head for almost a year. And like, of course, I want to blame that person and go like, why did she say that to me? And like, but it's only my own responsibility to decide what it is that I value. And once I valued my own receptivity to coaching, once I valued my own time and energy and put my time and energy into being coached and going through the self-paced modules, like when I go and get coached, I also go through the self-paced modules of my coaches programs as well. Like I don't just rely on a weekly little golden nugget. Like I am all in because I'm all in monetarily. All right. So this is how I financed my future. Right now, for my first coach, for all of my coaches, I didn't have all the payments laid out in my savings account. And so this is where I want to talk about fortitude, okay? So fortitude is the next F. Fortitude is the next F. And this style of strength might not be for you because in my program, it's in any of my programs, even the self-paced courses, they are not designed to cause financial stress in anyone. They are not designed to cause financial stress in anyone. The way that I work is I am a creative mentor. And creativity pours forth from you when your nervous system is settled and you're not stressed or under pressure. But here's something that not many people talk about. Where does pressure come from? Pressure doesn't actually come from the number in your bank account. Pressure comes from what you're thinking about that number in the bank account. Pressure doesn't come from whether you get a client this month or not. Pressure comes from what you make it mean about yourself if you get the client or if you don't. So I have a lot more strength, a lot more fortitude, and a lot more, my constitution is designed to be a little bit more risky because there's no freaking way that I'm going to come into a coaching program and not take action. Like, no. I was in a place where I had 2 payments lined up. No other option because I was living in Guatemala. It's not like I could just get a high paying job there. I would have had to move home, which would have required money. But I said to myself, like, girl, you have lived in a tent before. This is your dream come true. And I'm not saying that this is for you. And many of the clients that I do work with do have the savings. They're just like in scarcity mindset. And so they're hoarding it. And like, that's a different thing. But I'm talking for you out there, those ones that you're wondering if you're actually going to get the result. Now, here's what I want you to understand. Every investment that I have made in myself. I have doubled or tripled, and this was a $50,000 investment. I doubled that on my way to tripling it. I doubled it. Not because the coach was phenomenal, although of course she was. I doubled that because that's what I decided to do. And I decided to make pressure optional. And that's the hard part. But if I wasn't getting coached on that, then it would have been harder. So pressure is optional, but it's harder when you're not getting coached. So you create this stuckness. You create this stuckness and you're choosing the stuckness when you know that investing more in yourself than you ever had before is going to give you the coaching that you need to make it feel less pressurized. And we do need that coaching because I know you're self-coaching all the time. You're a great coach. You're a great guide. You're doing your practices and it's not working because it's not designed to work the same. I, as your coach, see what you don't see. I hold a mirror very lovingly with fierce love to what is underneath, to what is in the subconscious, to what you might not be willing to look at, but we hold such a loving space in my container that it's like, once you invest in yourself at that level, it is like, yeah, I'm willing. I once went to therapy where this therapist was having me doing some crazy stuff. She was a somatics therapist and she had me putting my top of my crown of my head into the couch and trying to go through the couch. I'm a smart girl. I know what's going on. I also studied psychotherapy and yoga, so I know what the body's doing. I know we hold trauma in the body. I know that I'm releasing something. I know logically what is going on. And yet I was willing to do this weird ass thing because I was willing to get the help that I signed up for, right? I'm invested. I paid for this help. And although I'm, me just swirling around with those thoughts, it's not going to work. It's never going to work. You sitting and swirling around in the thoughts on your own is not going to expand you into who you get to be, who you want to become, who your soul is almost requiring you to become. Requiring. So one of my clients is really getting shaken up by the universe right now. She has been doing business one way for years and years and years, and it's been working. And now her soul, her higher self, the universe has pulled the rug out from under her. And the coaching that I have given her is okay. Now, what are we going to do with this? When things come crashing down, do we rebuild it in an old way? Or do we receive support? Do we receive guidance? Do we receive the energy? Are you somewhere where you can fall back in the trust and in the knowing that you are supported by your coach so she can remind you that you're supported by the universe? So it's like, okay, this is the opportunity to build up that soul money because safe money has gotten you this far. Safe money has gotten you to this transmission. You wouldn't be here on this transmission if you weren't ready to start creating soul money. And a lot of the people that I talk to, they have taken a pay cut. They have left corporate and taken a pay cut to create the kind of money that they're proud to say that they're created, to create the kind of money that's aligned with their soul's gifts. So it's not about more money all the time at all costs. A lot of my people have left the corporate world, left the high paying job. Like myself, I left the high paying job and I was an entrepreneur for 10 freaking years. And I didn't replace my income as a psychotherapist until my first year with a high value offer. Okay. So years and years and years, I went traveling the world, teaching yoga, just trusting the universe, earning $1,000 there, spending it on the next flight, earning $300 there, being like, couch surfing and all of that. And it was very beautiful at the time. But when my soul was like, Christina, you are meant for something more, and this has gotten you here. That's great. Your experiences have gotten you here. They've made you a risk taker. And now take what you got and go all in on yourself again. And I did, because fortitude is that second F. I came decided that it didn't matter how long it was going to take. It didn't matter if it took a year, if it took 3, that I was going to absorb the lessons, the coaching, the guidance, the self-paced guidance, the worksheets. I was going to do it all. I was not going to let any corner of my self-development go unlooked at in trade for easy money, in trade for a passive income, in trading for like shortcomings. Like, what is the word I'm looking for? In trade for like just quick money. Okay. And I'm not saying that I didn't at times I went back to waitressing to be able to afford coaching because that is what we are all doing. If you want to be a high value guide, then receive high value guidance. This is the fastest, easiest way to expand. When I went all in on myself in a $50,000 program, and I'm not asking you to invest that much in yourself. Not everyone it needs to. Not everyone is designed to. My program does not cost that much, but I'm just want to give you a comparison of like if I can double a $50,000 investment and I'm not a freaking anyone special. I'm a crazy person. I have trauma, unresolved trauma. I just have this fortitude. I forgave myself for all those years I wasted on low cost courses and not receiving the kind of support that was going to elevate me. And I regain my strength. And sometimes on my mom's couch, and sometimes, that meant going back to waitressing. But I was always decided on who I was meant to become.
Hey there, visionary leader. If you're resonating with this message, I'd like to invite you into your next level life and business. Enrollment has begun for the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. This is my signature group container to help you design an offer so delicious, so juicy, so based on your soul gifts that you are thrilled to invite your soulmate clients inside of it. I'm going to teach you how to promote this offer with a ton of heart and to sell out this offer with ease to meet your revenue goals. I would love to have you inside if you are a visionary leader who knows that they are great at what they do. You'd like to collapse the timeline on how long it takes to reach consistent income with an offer that you truly love. Go to the link in the show notes to apply for the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. I will be sitting with your application individually, and I will send an email to let you know if you've been accepted in a few days after application. Thank you for trusting me with your vision, and I can't wait to see what we co-create.
And that brings me to my third F, which is future focused on freedom. So that's 3 F's in 1, but future focused on freedom. So a lot of us are in the past, okay? A lot of us spend a lot of time focused on the offers that went wrong, the launch that flopped, all the time we wasted not being coached, all the time we wasted just not believing in ourselves, and all of that is okay. And in my programs, we pull from the future you that already has it done. So I want to give you that right now. Whether you join my program or not, I want you to understand that it is already done. There is a timeline where you are standing in front of a group of soul-aligned clients and you're teaching, you're coaching, your offer's developed, it's been downloaded, it's been channeled through you, feeling like it was birthed through you. There's a timeline where you're dressed in your most magnificent clothes, you are shining forth, your content feels like it's pouring from you, you are the messenger, you are the channel. That's already happened. That's already there. Okay? What I'm saying is that I know that. I pulled from her so many times. And the visions that I got were like, really? Just little old me crying on the forest floor, little old me. But I saw me today in a beautiful home, traveling the world. I'm right now visiting a friend. I haven't seen the fall seasons in like 10 years because I was a sun chaser. Are you a sun chaser? Or do you enjoy the season change? but now I'm enjoying the season change. But I've traveled here on my own grit because I can take my business anywhere the frick I want. I make my own hours, focused on freedom. So if you want that freedom business, you may need to or get to focus on what you get to do now to set yourself up for that future freedom. So pull from that person. What does she or he look like? What is she wearing? How is she moving? How is she speaking? Because for sure she's not doubting herself. For sure he's not, scrimping or hoarding extra cash, making sure that you have all the savings first before you actually go all in on yourself. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. We find a way. And my best clients, they put it on a credit card, they get a line of credit. Like if you have a business, if you have an LLC, there's opportunities there. They build your credit, like there's opportunities there. They borrowed from Uncle Bob, they got an investor. It's like there are opportunities there. And if you want to go further than you've ever gone before, you get to forgive yourself. You get to have fortitude, know that you are going to double your investment, triple it, quadruple it in time. Don't worry about the time. It might not happen in the first freaking week, but for some of my clients, it did. My client, Niv, just told me, I didn't even know this because we talk about money in my programs. We celebrate money wins, but we more celebrate client attraction. We more celebrate attracting a newer client or a client at the highest price point that we've ever attracted a client. We celebrate every little piece of content that we put out. So we're not just celebrating when they make the $10,000 month. Like we are growing together step by step and we celebrate it all. But I didn't even know that Niv made her investment back in the first week of working together and we hadn't even started the coaching. She made that back in the self-paced modules, getting those downloads ahead of the game, and then came to the coaching on lock. Came to the coaching understanding a pathway for her and having like high level questions. So, we are starting the Conscious Creative Business Immersion next week, but that still gives you a week to like go through the material and start the Success Code series. Like if you're interested in pulling from that future self that is not worried about money. Your future self is not worried about money. Your future self has a monthly donation like I do to the kids, to the service that she's most proud to offer to. I don't go around bragging about that on the internet. I'm saying it now because I know that's who you are. You are not just making money to stack it. You are making money to give, to have that nervous system regulation, to travel the world, to have that freedom. And so freedom is also freedom of choice. I don't work on anyone else's time. I can move things around. I can work from Maryland, I can work from Egypt, I can work from Guatemala, I can work from Peru. And in the last 3 years, those are all places that I've brought my laptop, my voice, my coaching, and I've brought my clients. I was given coaching calls 6 a.m. in Bali. You don't have to do that, but like wherever you are, that's a freedom that I can't even put into words sometimes. And so financial freedom is one thing. But your financial health is about you maybe taking a bigger risk and a bigger bet on yourself and trusting the mystery and understanding that you are strong enough. If you trust the process, we're going to create magic that you didn't even prepare yourself for. Yes, I have my signature create method. You can look and see where you are on the roadmap to attracting clients in an overflow. That's why I created my signature create method. But what we're not going to be able to predict is the obstacles that are going to come up for you. What we're not going to be able to predict is how you're going to feel on the edge of that or creating that big money month, and how actually you're going to feel and how actually you're going to be so proud of yourself that you went all in on your support, so that you're not feeling these things alone, looking at a wall. So you're not feeling these things with your friends and family who don't freaking get it. I get it. The people I call into my containers get it. They get the risks that we've all had to take. They get that this isn't easy. They get that every tear matters. They get that every no on a sales call leads to the best yes. I actually love when a client says no because and that just happened to me. A not perfectly aligned client said no to my program. And I was like, because I know and I have proof that every time a client says no, a painful client at the mentorship level joins me. It just happens that way. But if we don't have that, no, if we haven't been in business long enough, if we haven't actually yet shifted into the high value model of business that I teach my clients to create, then it's sort of like, right, we get to trust. We get to trust and be inspired by those around us and grow our businesses in a community and together instead of in a vacuum alone, wondering if we're doing it right. And I'll tell you this. I want to ask you this actually. Okay, if that vision that you have of the, 6-figure year, of the easeful clients that come to you because they know that you're their go-to guide, of that, freedom-based life where you're coaching from around the world, you're not stuck in an office, you're not stuck on someone else's time, your creative input matters because you're creating this offer based on your soul gifts. I co-create it with you, but it's ultimately up to you. I co-create with you. I'm a sounding board. I'm an inspiration. I can give you ideas, but mostly I'm here to hold space for your brilliance and for that to shine through and to ensure that we're not getting distracted by that, distracted by shiny object syndrome, and giving and co-creating with you a simple strategy that you want to show up for, business rituals that you want to show up for. Yes, I'm teaching you all that, but ultimately, if you knew that a little money now, so 8K now, was going to bring you consistent 8K months for the rest of your life and beyond, was going to eventually make you a millionaire, was going to eventually give you that 6-figure year. What is 8K now to shorten the time that it takes to get there? Because if you really calculate how much you end up spending or how much you end up wasting time, money, and energy wise, and wealthy people know that your time and your energy is more important than money, because your time and your energy and feeling supported will always make you more money. This is what makes you more money. Going at it alone, and look at it, like if you've had the wrong coach or you've been going at it alone, look and see, is it easy? Is it fun? In my containers, my clients are like, yes, I got another client. Yes, I put out my offer. Yes, I said the edgy thing. Yes, I took a nap and woke up to money. Like, these are the types of things that I'm prepared to celebrate with you, as well as be in there with you in the muck when it's not working, when you received a no, and holding you to that vision that you have of your future self, of the 6-figure year, of the bank account overflowing, whatever it is. And so let's revisit these 3 F's. And then I want to talk to you about guaranteeing an ROI in any program you join, in anything you do in life. Okay. So the first F is forgiveness. Okay. Forgive yourself for any financial mistakes that you've made in the past. You must. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. And we're feeling good about money, and we're feeling good about the opportunity we get to make more of it. And this type of business, it doesn't matter if you had a low month. I have low months sometimes, but I know that with my business model, like 30K months, 50K months are just around the corner at any moment in time. And it's up to me to keep going, right? So forgiveness, okay? And then 2, and forgiveness for any bad investments you've made. Just know that if you invest in yourself in the conscious creative business immersion, you can't go wrong. And I'm going to help you and teach you how to guarantee your own results in just a moment. And then 2, fortitude. So that's strength. Are you someone that can breathe through a risky situation? Are you someone that trusts that you always get what you came for? Are you someone that can handle a little bit of risk? Because entrepreneurs take risks. Any entrepreneur, any millionaire, any 6-figure earner, they most likely got loans, like any brick and mortar. My friend, she's a brilliant business owner. She has a wonderful natural hummus company, juices, kimchi. It's freaking gorgeous. She's talking about getting a brick and mortar. Where does the investment come for the brick and mortar? Yeah, maybe investors or a loan from the bank. Any other business model It is just no. It's in the no of like, all right, I want to expand my business. Okay, Mr. Bank, where's my loan? But for some reason, coaches, transformational facilitators, content creators, personalities, we don't think like that for whatever reason. And maybe because a lot of us are women. But I'm telling you, you can go to the bank and you can get a business loan to expand your business. And in our line of business, your business is you. So if you're not supported, then I mean, how can you expect people to want to be supported by you? If you're not supported, and you're not allowing yourself to be supported, it just is a misalignment. And that's what people are feeling on your sales calls. They're going, oh, okay, like this person is asking me to do something that she's not willing to do. Now, I've been willing to invest $100,000 in myself, but I've made $500,000 because of that. Right? So like if we play with more, then we receive more. And that's the energetics of it. We play with more, we receive more. We take bigger risks, we go all in on ourselves in a bigger way, we receive more. Okay? Amazing. My program's not $50,000. I invested $100,000 in myself, but you don't have to invest $100,000 in yourself right now. The Conscious Creative Business Immersion is open for enrollment. I have payment plans. Talk to me. If it's about the money, we can extend those payment plans. I don't want you to not go all in on yourself because of the money. So please, if you're resonating, if you're like, I've been wanting to work with Christina for this long, talk to me. We'll work something out, okay? And then the third is future focused on freedom. Okay, if you knew that you could put a little bit of time in now, a little more time in now, and it might seem like you don't have time, but if you don't have time, if you don't have time, then you don't have the right business model. Write that down. If you don't have time and you want more time, if you don't feel free and you want freedom, then you don't have the right business model. One of my core foundational principles is freedom. This is mind freedom. This is time freedom. This is freedom to say no to certain clients that feel like they're not a right match. This is like, I'm not desperate for just to work with anyone. I've set my containers up that there's a certain level, people get to meet me in the level that I'm going to be meeting them. And so that takes a certain kind of person and it takes a certain kind of investment. Okay. So if you don't have time now, then it is so wise to focus in a program like mine. I teach you how to have the model of business. I call it the high value model of business that gives you back 4-day weekends. You only really have to work 3 days a week. And really now, and this wasn't like this in the beginning, I put the time and energy up front and the money and the investment. And now I really work like 3 hours a day. And sometimes no hours a day. And my work doesn't feel like work. When I'm coaching my clients, I'm not even counting that as work. Like that's like my soul's mission. That's what I was born to do. So like I'll add those hours up, but that doesn't feel like work. Creating this piece of content does not feel like work. You know what feels like work? Roofing. You know what feels like work? Waitressing. You know what feels like work? Being on the edge of my gifts and not being fully immersed in them, not delivering them. That feels like mental work. That feels like energetic work. That feels like the biggest contraction that I ever had to hold myself through and receive coaching around of like, why am I not sharing my gifts in the capacity that I want to be? And so I moved through that with support, right? But future focused on freedom. Okay. You already forgive yourself for the past. You're already going to have just deciding that you are going to make your investment back or double it, triple it, whatever you want to do. I'm still tripling investments I made in myself. I'm still hearing my first mentor's voice telling me to keep going. And that is priceless. That level of support is priceless. Okay, so great. If you don't have time now, then it is very wise to focus on creating an offer that gives you back your time. If you raise your price, and you work with 3 clients at a higher price point, and you do the work and the mental work, and you get support around raising your price, and you have one offering that you know how to deliver, that you know how to attract clients into, that you just know, you're in your knowing. Yes, of course, right now you're not in your knowing. That's okay. You know that you got it. You know that your future is, that timeline exists. And now we got to know the steps to take. Okay, so let me guide you step by step. Now, how to guarantee a return on investment if you join the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. I want you to start to think about who gets who results. Now, we already know I'm going to show up for you like I don't show up for anyone else. Okay. We already know that price is an energetic boundary. And so when my clients go all in on themselves and they invest in themselves at 8K, at 14K, if they go in at the mentorship level, it's like whether they pay in full or payment plans, I am there for them in their corner. I am accessible. They get access to my brain, my teachings. They get the whole create method. I'm there for them, right? Through all the ups and downs, right? So you get to trust that you are going to receive that you're going to make, not take advantage, because take advantage, it doesn't sound great, but you are going to show up for that level of support. You get to trust yourself and your capacity to receive, because that's the misalignment. If you can't receive support, how can you receive $10,000 from somebody, $4,000 from somebody, double what you've been receiving from your people? So it is that energy of you receiving my support and you showing up for it and you being coachable and you being coached that opens up the energetic channels for more money to drop in. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So you get to understand that your success is inevitable, that I am going to coach you. I am going to be there for you. I am going to be accessible. Talk to me about the different levels. There's different access, group level versus mentorship level, of course. But even at the group level, you share your voice every week. You get your personalized coaching. You get my eyes on every asset of your business that you are about to create, so that you are not just creating a business that you want to burn down in a month because it's stressful. You're creating the kind of business that your freedom is at the forefront, where you don't need a lot of time, where you don't need to be overworking in your energy field, where you don't need to be clingy to clients, where you can say no to people that aren't a right fit, because we remove those obstacles, we remove those desperate energy constructs and forms, and we start to focus on your center, on who we know you to be, and we cultivate more of that, and we put your content out that attracts only those clients who are also willing to meet you and the level that you have met yourself and the level that you are willing to meet them. So it becomes this beautiful ripple effect of, we're not trying to be Tom Jones who's Tom Jones is a singer, but we're not trying to be Billy Bob on the I keep thinking of actresses, Billy Bob Thornton on the internet. We're not trying just to make money. We're really here living our full gifts, living our soul's gifts, and the money is a byproduct of that. This is how you triple your investment. This is how you triple your investment, and you guarantee an ROI, because you are taking your power back. I am not here to take your power from you and say, I'm the one. I'm not here to take your power from you and say, I'm going to give you a result. That's not how we create sustainable success in the long term. But I am going to show you who you get to be and guide you back home to that vision that you have. And I'm going to give you the how-to step by step of how to really craft that next level offer that people come to your pages. They come to your sales page, your discovery calls, your content pieces, and they know ahead of time who they get to be, who they're going to rise into. They know all that. So they come to your sales calls going like, yes, you are the guide for me. This is the offer for me. Thank you for existing. Thank you for doing your work in the world. I'm ready to go. How can I pay? You want that? That's available to you. It's happening for my clients. If you don't believe me, you can look at my client results page, where I'm interviewing badass women that didn't know just a year ago how to put together an offering, and now are putting together their mentorship offerings. They know exactly how to put together an offering that sells and how to sell it with their words and their energy. And now even if they do decide to create a different offer, all of that learning and lessons lives within their DNA. My client Allison has shifted her focus and pivoted and deepened her knowledge in human design and added that to her offerings and created a mentorship offering around that and started giving one-off sessions around that. And that's very beautiful. If you've been following me for a while, you know I teach on creating a signature offering. But if you learn how to create a signature offering that gives you a 5-figure launch, of course you can create another offering. You don't have to keep selling that offering. I'm just telling you, like, that's where the true freedom comes in. When your offer is known by name, that's a different level of freedom. So people come to me and they say, I've been saving up for the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. I asked for a loan for the Conscious Creative Business Immersion. I put it on a credit card and then I got to pay that credit card off within the first week, because we are those kinds of people. We have that fortitude. We have that future focus. So to guarantee a return on your investment, you get to decide who you are. And we get to take the pressure off on, is it going to happen in 3 months? For some it does. For you, just know that you are going to get that golden nugget of wisdom for you. It was different for me than it was for my mastermind sisters. It's different. I coach everyone differently depending on who they are, what they're wanting to create, and their particular patterns. So you want that intimate, personalized support so that you aren't trying to craft your business and your offer the way that I do or somebody else does. I get intuitive hits and intuitive downloads on what's going to work for you at your stage, at your mental capacity, and at your nervous system capacity. And we go ahead and we increase your energetic capacity to become who you were born to become. Wow, so this is a big one. I'm so stoked for all of you who joined me. I'm so honored to speak into your lives. Either you're listening on the podcast, or you're here in my group, or you're on my platform on Instagram. And I'm so honored, I don't take this lightly, that you've chosen to work with me in this capacity. And if you're ready to go all in on yourself, doors are open for the Conscious Creative Business Immersion, and not for long. This is a 3-month intimate high touch experience where you are going to be held through the ups and downs of entrepreneurship and become the high value guide with an offer crafted and knowing exactly how to sell that offer. Are you ready? Are you ready to create? Are you ready to create the business that you are wildly in love with, where you reclaim your Mondays and Fridays and you reclaim your time? Put a little time in now, make the investment in yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and we can make it happen. You guarantee your own success moment by moment by who you know yourself to be. And if you don't believe that you're the type of person to win on the internet, to attract clients, I believe in you. I have taken people from 0 online presence to 5-figure launches and attracting clients consistently again and again and again, month after month after month. If you're ready to start, if you're ready to expand, I'm here for you. How do you know if the Conscious Creative Business Immersion is right for you? You just have confidence that you can help your people, right? You have confidence that you could help someone. You don't even have to know how, what the offer is, or if you have an offer, we can refine it. But you get to be confident that you can help your people, and am incredibly confident that I can help you attract them into your offers and help you to deliver an epic experience to them. All right, well, I will see you next week. I'm looking forward to seeing your applications. Applications close this week, so don't wait. If you want to talk to me about it, I am an open book. Message me and we can chat to see if you would be a right fit. If you are the type of person that can double their investment, triple their investment, and if we're not a right fit to work together, don't you worry. I have my clients. I can refer you to my client Allison. I can refer you to my client Niv, and just let me know what it is that you're seeking. And if it's not here, I'm not here to just take people's money. I'm here to have the most extraordinary life and extraordinary client relationships. So here we go. Bye.